What's happening, everyone? Long time no see. I just got off of the world's largest YouTuber gathering, I think. 100 plus YouTubers. Can you smell what Hex is cooking? Boy, did we wait a long time for these gains. Can't stop being excited about the green candles, up and down, left, right, whatever it is. Exciting times here. Today, we're talking security, although we're going to talk a few other things too. So if you're not super into security, you might want to stick around. We'll be discussing some other topics as well. And if you have things in chat, feel free to put them in. We'll try to get to questions, but I got a guest with me who's been on a few times. We're going to go through a few things there and might pull up a chart or two every once in a while, but wow, what a good day. And then later, local meetup. If you're local, and you should know if you are, I imagine. If you're in the area, there's an amazing meetup happening and super excited about that. And yeah, excited to hang out with some local Hexicans, people who deserve Hex to explode. We'll say that. Deserve that as well. Anyways, without further ado, let's welcome back to the show, Ben Dubard. How's it going, Ben?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good looking at your monkey pics and me enjoying my classic background. I don't think I've used this background for a very long time. This is my old channel art, like when I was doing my own intro and everything else before Markable got involved.
Put up my thing.
Oh, nice. You got a little inspirational quote there. 2 words, you rock. Nice.
That's right. My cat likes to come and knock it down. It'll stand on the desk and like.
I was like, how does it get up that high? Okay, you got a desk there. Nice.
The desk will rise too.
The cat presses the button up and then gets there and just like meh, and just knocks it off.
Yeah. He's locked out of the room now though. So he can't
for the best.
Yeah. So yeah, how about that world record? That was pretty awesome. Not every day.
There? Were you there? I was in the real DeFi one. Which group were you in?
I was in the 5555, which is probably
I just picked a group.
Loyal Hexican group that there was.
I didn't know there were more than one group. I just picked the first one that was on the screen, and then afterwards, I'm like, oh god, there's like 5 groups. I would have picked 5555 had I paid attention, but I was like, just do it.
Yeah, we had a good crowd. We had Crispy Man, Johnny Chaos, Kareem, SJ, Crypty Girl, to name a few.
That sounds like a great room. I'll say that.
Yeah, it was amazing. There was a lot of just incredible things going on that it's indescribable. You just had to be there.
Yeah, I know. I'm I want to just turn back time and wish I was in the right room.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that's a cool room. I was looking around again. I didn't even pay attention, but like, yeah, it's fine. Chad says, we pack, we base, we bullish. It's true.
That's right.
True. Yeah. What do you think about us being back, Ben? What do you think about the sadness just dissipating for a moment?
Yeah, it's crazy. Things change so fast. I'm still like trying to process what's going on, you know? It's like, wow, all of a sudden SAC funds are buying. Richard Hart comes out with like some super legit lawyers. I mean, I heard people, the FUD, people were like, he's using ChatGPT as his lawyers. Like, what the hell is he doing?
Dude, a lot of conspiracies. It was also weird to me. I'm like, why wouldn't, like, I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because I've been following him so long and I feel like I have a good judge of people's character. He's a winner. He's not going to run away. He's going to win. It may take time, but it's going to happen. I don't know why it's so hard to like keep faith for a long period of time, but maybe I have a different perspective.
I think the uncertainty definitely weighs down, so having some certainty, okay, he is fighting. He's got these awesome lawyers. SAC funds are buying. Okay. Sweet. It's pretty awesome. So,
dude, yeah. GodWhale followed me today.
Oh, really?
GodWhale followed me today. He has like 50-some followers. He followed me. I was like, hold on. I saw that little whale icon. I'm like, hold on, let me click this. Is that Team GodWhale? Oh my gosh. Because he liked the Pulse petition remix. Did you see that earlier, by the way?
I saw that. I saw he's back on Twitter now.
So. Well, did you see that? So I did the Pulse petition video, and then what's his name? The dude makes all the vintage Hex stuff. He like remixed it. It was really funny, by the way.
History of Hex.
Not history. Let me pull it up real quick. I can't play the audio, but I'll share the thing because it's so funny. I put I always do that. This is my streaming account, not my real account. Let's
Pulse
see.
for green.
Yeah, had to be something. So Ministry of Hex. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in chat. You guys go watch it. It's pretty funny. So I did this Pulse petition video, and then you can just see Richard. You can see his picture. It's pretty funny. He turned into like a hostage video. It's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. So anyways, the point was GodWhale liked it. Somebody, this Nazim was like, he posted. I'm like, oh cool. GodWhale liked it, liked this video. And then I saw he was following me. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So
cool.
Yeah, this probably the second biggest. I don't really talk about stats or say much, but I think the two biggest people following me right now is Richard and GodWhale. Love it. Just getting to see that made my day too. Just to be like, oh wow, this guy's. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't care if he followed me or not. He's back. That's the most important thing. Like nothing else really matters. Like he's back and active.
What if he's watching right now?
You never know.
GodWhale, please bless those who have been loyal.
Please, GodWhale, make this chart have 75 more candles just reaching off the page, just up and away to Uranus and Pluto, and make it wish it was a planet again. Just like so many things, GodWhale. No, I have nothing to ask from GodWhale. Oh, I'm just joking. I have nothing to ask from him. He can do whatever he wants. He's already done enough to me. The fact that he's back is just a bowl of sentiment. So I ask for nothing from GodWhale. I know GodWhale will do what GodWhale does, and we love our benevolent whales out there. So shout out to GodWhale. Shout out Team GodWhale. # Team GodWhale.
It's exciting. Yeah, exciting times. So, yeah, I mean, we might never see the prices we were at ever again.
You never know. Never know. Channel your inner Johnny Chaos right now. What if it doesn't go down? What if it never goes down again? I love the way he says it. It's just like, I love the way he talks about it.
This chart does look exactly like the meme Johnny Chaos shares, where it's like, I'm going to buy me a dip. I'm going to buy me a dip. And then he's standing and he's like, I was standing in the dip, wasn't I? This looks exactly like that. This chart right here.
Dude, amazing. First thing I heard is Uranus.
Pretty cool.
Yes, we were naming off some planets. Hexhodl. Good timing.
I can't tell you how many times I heard Hex is never going under. You're never getting under a penny Hex again. And this was like in 2020, people were saying that. And now here we are in 2024. Guess what? Guess where the price of Hex went? It's crazy how crypto.
Yeah, I was going to say which Hex, because we got actually both are over a penny now. Okay, nice.
Oh, yeah, both went under a penny though. So
Right. Oh yeah, I remember last year, either early last year. So like the big debate was, will Hex go under a penny? And I remember thinking to myself, like having conversation with people, like just thinking, no, I can't see it going under a penny. And it did go under a penny, but that that was kind of like the lowest I could even imagine it going again, because I was looking at Hex when it was a few sats. I remember 2 sats. Oh, is it going to go up to 3 sats? Is it going to go? Oh, it went to 9 sats. And that was way under a penny, whatever Bitcoin was at the time. So it's just been so long since I saw it that low. And you know how it feels when things are going well. You don't think it's going to go back down that hard. Like, of course it can go down, but I don't think anyone called it going down 90, 98%, 99%, whatever it was. So amazing.
Yeah,
so that's the whole point.
From the community.
right. I mean, that's the whole point was, though it happened. So what do you do when it happens? That's what matters.
You freak out and you delete everything.
Yeah.
You cry.
You definitely don't buy. Not financial advice, but I've heard people say, other people have told me that when price dips so low on a product that obviously has product market fit, genius billionaire founder, and a community that just won't go away, you obviously don't buy, you don't DCA, you don't make sure your 40-cent buy turns into a 2-cent buy when you buy under penny, that type of stuff. There's a lot of things not to do. You kind of invert it, and you just hope for the best, I guess. I don't know anything about investing, but that's what I've heard, at least.
Very well said.
What's up, Marion? Crypto Steve. Security, man. What do you how can people lose their wallets, their private
Well,
keys, their money, access to their money?
a big thing I think people need to understand in our community is if you have hex stakes with a native MetaMask wallet, um, you should. I think you should do something about that, because once you stake your hex, you're stuck with the seed phrase that you've staked on, unless it's a HSI. So, if you've set up a staking ladder or set up any kind of long-term stakes through just a normal MetaMask, what you'll need to do is get a hardware wallet and then add the MetaMask seed phrase to the hardware wallet, because that seed phrase from the MetaMask wallet is just sitting in your browser. So your seed phrase is stored digitally, and you might not even know. You might not have known it, but it is. And I have a video showing how to do it. But that's the biggest thing, because I know a lot of people. I run into a lot of people who staked through MetaMask, and they're like, "Well, I wrote down my seed phrase and I haven't shared it with anyone, so how would I get hacked?" But your seed phrase is sitting there in the browser, so
Let's go pull up some of your videos too. That
yeah,
how to
it's
secure
that
an
first
existing MetaMask
one.
wallet.
Yeah, it's got.
Nice.
I can't believe it's got this many views. It's kind of funny.
How many? Let's see.
But if
Wow,
you
8K
don't
views.
have
Nice. That's a good one.
if you but the thing too is, if you don't have hex stakes, but you have a MetaMask with crypto on it, you don't need to add your MetaMask seed phrase to a hardware wallet. What's better is to just get a hardware wallet, send the crypto to the hardware wallet, and connect the hardware wallet to MetaMask, send the crypto to it. The only reason you would ever want to add a MetaMask seed phrase to a hardware wallet is because of your hex stakes that can't be transferred to a different seed phrase. So that's another thing too. It's not like, oh, let me get a hardware wallet and add my MetaMask seed phrase to it. No, you only need to do that if you have the hex stakes. And then you probably want to get 2 hardware wallets, because that seed phrase could have been compromised and you didn't know it. And even though you added it to a hardware wallet now, and you think, oh, my hex, okay, now I'm safe. Well, for all you know, someone got your seed phrase when it was stored digitally, uh, and just hasn't exploited you yet. So, you know, it'd be good to get send your liquid crypto to that brand new hardware wallet, new seed phrase. Your hex stakes, they're going to be stuck on that seed phrase that you've now added to your hardware wallet, but at least it's not stored online anymore, and you delete MetaMask from your browser. My video shows you, but so it is really confusing. And people are like, I have to delete MetaMask. Like, this is like, what? This is scary. And
My money's gone with MetaMask gone. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
dude, it is scary because it's kind of weird how everything is kind of it's if you don't have so first of all, please have good backups of your stuff. Please have secure backups, because what happens if I mean, for example, if you're not using hardware, you're using a hardware wallet, there are certain things that are benefits with that as far as backups and stuff go. But if you're not using a hardware wallet and you just have, maybe you have some hot wallets or whatever that you're using, and you could lose money if what if your browser just dies? Like, what if it just stops working one day? Like, having regular backups of just your profiles and stuff is important too. And just in general, like, never be like, oh, this is my computer's not going to die. Don't think your computer's never going to die. Don't, like, always make sure you have some sort of backup, either hardware wise or otherwise of your computer and stuff, because you don't want to be like, oh, oh my gosh, crypto went up so much, and then you can't access your stuff. You forgot your password or something like that.
yeah, you could be. That's a big thing, is like, a lot of times people don't even get scammed, they just screw themselves. You know, they lose their own seed phrase, or they make stuff too complicated and they forget it. They lock themselves out of their money. They send crypto to the wrong address. So, you really got to be careful. I had someone who she hadn't sent crypto to her wallet yet, but she, I was helping her out, and she couldn't even type in her passphrase. She was like, "My passphrase is too complicated. I keep entering it wrong." And I was like, "Well, that's an issue." She was like, "Well, I wanted it to be as secure as possible." And I was like, "Well, it shouldn't be so secure that you can't even enter it."
Yeah, we talked about that
So,
before. Yeah, like security trying to do too much. Like, is max security? There can be too much. Like, you can mess yourself up just by trying to do stuff and make it just harder on yourself. Or again, especially it depends on how you're backing it up. And otherwise, if you're writing down a piece of paper your passwords or whatever it is, you better be writing very well. You better have good handwriting or have someone who does. Or O's and zeros. Like, that's another thing in passwords. Like, if you want, watch all that stuff, because if you write something down wrong, now you're going to be guessing for hours. It sucks.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching right now too. Pull out your phone, put a calendar invite for yourself. Ben's optional. Everyone else though. Put a calendar invite, add it to yourself, or add someone who cares about you, and say backup computer. And if you don't have a backup hard drive, you don't have a backup system or whatever, and if you're using the cloud, I have no words for you, because everyone do their own thing, but I don't back up my stuff to the cloud. It's just someone else's computer, that sort of thing. I know it's convenient, but I prefer a million other ways you can back up your own stuff. And have a hard drive, have a hard disk, have something. And anyways, make yourself a calendar invite to get your stuff correct, because if your computer dies, or your phone, or whatever it is, holding your programs that use your computer stuff, or holding your crypto programs, again, even your hardware wallet, like, make sure you have good backups of all the stuff, all your seed phrase, all your passwords, because you don't want the day to come where you don't, and you need to make a trade, or you need to just access your funds and they're lost. And this ain't Coinbase. Okay. If you're using true DeFi, you're using MetaMask and stuff, not calling MetaMask true DeFi. It has become something else. But it's the necessary evil for a lot of people right now. But if you're holding your own keys, you have to take responsibility. That means, there is extra work. And so make yourself a calendar invite for next weekend or whatever. Get yourself a device that can back stuff up. You can lock it in a secure place. You can, whatever. There's plenty. Look up how to secure backup stuff, different physical locations, different mediums to put it on, steel, paper, all the different pros and cons. But again, save yourself the headache later, save yourself. And what have you got to lose, right? A little bit of time, a little bit of money. And what if your profile turns out to be millions of dollars? Don't put yourself in a bad position.
Yes. Well said. Now is the time. Scammers are going to be coming out even harder now that prices are starting to come back. The bull run's starting to come back. So just be ultra careful. Use RHMax's GoRealDeFi.com. It's an amazing website. I've been telling people a lot about this website.
Thank you. I use it myself. I do like it. I do agree. It is an amazing website.
Because you can't bookmark those web pages anymore. You can't bookmark the IPFS or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can, but you risk using a later or an old version, and that could matter more or less in certain cases. So if you use an old version of the bridge, which I know the bridge has had something was going on with it earlier, they had to upgrade it. So I don't remember what happened, but they're like, use the latest version. So if it's anything about transferring money and stuff like that, like the bridge, I would say make sure you definitely use the latest version. I wouldn't imagine there's any bugs in the Hex portal or anything right now, or PulseX is kind of like you're just making a trade. I can imagine there being any like LP issues, but anyways, it's best to make sure you're using the latest version, but especially if you're doing a transaction that's like coming across to another blockchain and it's been updated recently, make sure the bridge. So yeah, anyways, long story short, IPFS links, this on GoWhale DeFi, I went over it a million times, but it's a verifiable IPS gateway. All the links are kept up to date. If you click here, not only can you verify the hashes and all this stuff, you can verify the versions. And there's a script running in the background on the server that pulls the latest version from the official websites and updates each one. So bridge.pulsechainapp.com is, the update script will make sure it's always pointing to the latest version of the bridge from the dev website. So if you just bookmark, bridge.pulsechainapp.com, pulsex.pulsechainapp.com, any of those, it's, the idea is it's automatically updated, so you don't have to worry about that either.
Okay.
Or I mean,
cool.
So that's one way, but I really tell people just bookmark GodWhale DeFi, because what I do before I use the apps and stuff, I click verify hash, because that tells me everything's good. If it says status fail, then something went wrong. Either it's probably because the script failed or something. It just means the hashes don't match, probably because the update script failed or whatever. Probably nothing like super serious, but it just means, things couldn't be verified for whatever reason. And then if I see that, then I'll go on the server, figure out what happened, all that stuff. But that's what I do. So I go here and, ideally you click verify hash first, make sure everything's good. Whatever you want to use, they all should say okay 99% of the time. And then once it's all okay, then you click on the link, the app you want to use, takes you there, good to go.
Cool. Ryan asks, is it a good idea to have multiple wallets? I think it is. I think the risk comes in is like we were saying, if you have too many wallets, well, then you got too much to look after. And then you might, there's more like attack area, or you might mess up, or you might lose one or lose track of things. But I think it's a good idea to have multiple wallets. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think about it. I haven't thought about it much. I guess maybe I decided a long time ago that you kind of got wallets for different purposes. Maybe you got something for fiat coming in. Maybe you got something for your degen stuff, your burner wallet, maybe you got something that's connected to your stakes. I think compartmentalization, that type of thing, it always just came natural to me. I never even thought about, should I have multiple wallets? For me, it's like, I'm always going to have, if I were to imagine a scenario of only having one wallet, that seems, it's simple, and they're less to take care of. I guess do what's best for you. But for me, it makes sense.
Yeah.
More than one wallet to me. But just do whatever makes you lose the least amount of money. That's what I would think. Like if you feel like you can handle, multiple wallets, do it. I guess if not, then you know what not to do.
Exactly.
So Windows, man, why are you still using it? You a Windows guy? You like Microsoft?
Yeah, it's okay.
Everyone who's listening, I've tried my best over a lot of the security AMA. Every chance I get to tell people, if you want to browse the internet on the nice neighborhood where people are friendly, they wave at you, and maybe it's gated community, or maybe there's just kids playing on the street, everything's good. That's not Windows. That's something else. It could be Mac, could be Linux, whatever. Windows is the bad neighborhood, right? Like you feel like you're going to get shot. There's like people like outside, like you don't know what their intentions are. They're moving around. It's always dark for some reason, that kind of thing. Like, so if you want to drive down the bad neighborhood, use Windows. If you want to drive down the nice neighborhood where people are more friendly, where 99% of malware isn't, that's Mac and Linux.
Yes, well said.
Convert Ben one day.
Can you pull up John J _UK? What he just said? For the first time in 3 years, I got a wallet, rinsed a few grand's worth, and I have no idea how I got compromised.
Oh no.
The learning is I shouldn't have had that amount on a hot wallet. If it was in just a native MetaMask, like someone could have gotten in there and gotten your seed phrase and you didn't even realize it. Right?
Let's see. Well, there's a lot of different. So I guess the question is, like, how could you lose money from your wallet? Like anytime anyone if it's a hot wallet, of course, that means you're using it. If you have access to your computer and maybe a password or so, depending if you password protected MetaMask or not, then people get access to it. If someone compromises your computer, it could be downloaded a bad app or anything. Again, I'm assuming you're running Windows at this point, so it could be a lot of different things. So It could be a bad dapp. You could have connected, like, we had that Trezor thing happen not too long ago where their library got compromised. So a lot of different websites were actually showing accidentally showing the wrong interface to you. So people connected there and lost the money. So there's a lot of different ways to lose money in crypto. I'll let Ben talk about it a little bit, and then I can pull up a blog too that's got a few things I've written about.
So John J says, luckily he has several hardware wallets and his main holdings are safe. Yeah, I don't use any. Well, I don't have any crypto on anything that's not a hardware wallet. Well, maybe I mean, you've been in crypto for a while. You used to have random crap sitting around places, but yeah, I know some people, they like to, they'll put, like you said, like a couple $1,000 or just a little bit of money in like a hot wallet on their phone or something, just if there's like a thing they want to like, buy real quick or whatever when they're on the go, they have it. But I don't even care. I mean, I don't even do crypto that much. My crypto laptop usually is just chilling, and I'm just not doing much. So Mr. Chinks says, was it Trezor or Ledger? I don't think it was a hardware wallet that he got rinsed from. But you still could get rinsed from a hardware wallet if you essentially give approval to someone to rinse your wallet, which would usually happen through like a phishing scam.
Yeah,
so
that's what I describe here too. What does the badness look like? There's different kind of contracts. Yeah, and feel like different approval contracts. Like you may like click on, you may sign something that's dangerous. Again, you got to check the contract address with a legit one, and hopefully you got a legit place to check it from. Some people put it kind of sucks. It's like, oh, you got to check Twitter from the project founder for the legit one, or else on Etherscan it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Like it's not easy. So, and there's different, DNS attacks and stuff. You may look like Uniswap, but it's like, it's got like a Cyrillic character here or something. Different honeypots. I discuss a lot in liquidity rug pull stuff. Front runner bots were really popular for a while. Literally, like these videos on YouTube, man, it was crazy. Even Richard talked about it at one point. They literally show you. They basically just want you to like send them money, and they're gonna like, oh, if you send 1 ETH to this address, you got to fund the bot, and the bot will send you back like so much more. They have an entire video with a bunch of nonsense code just at the middle of it to get you to send them money. It's crazy. Like they're very clever. So the front end gets compromised. Malicious dapps. There's a lot of ways there. Ray says, you'll never be able to convert me. My node is Linux, my daily is Windows. I understand, Ray. Or Raymano. Yeah, Raymano. I understand. All I can do is try. I can just give you all the stats in the world to tell you all the malware is for Windows. 99% of it's for Windows. So again, I can just put it out there and you decide at the end of the day. But Linux is a great choice for desktop. You can always run a virtual machine if you want to run Windows apps. Mac is a great choice for desktop. You can also run virtual machines on Mac for Windows apps or otherwise. There's really no reason to run Windows these days. Like there's no reason you have to. I'll say it like that. Like why do people do it? It's like the US dollar, right? It's the most common thing around. Everyone knows how to use it. It's comfortable. It's easy. Sure. But if you grew up using Mac, I didn't. I grew up using Windows, but I converted to other, Mac and Linux and all this stuff because I saw how nasty Windows was. Like, I don't want to deal with this stuff. And being a security professional, I'm like, I really know how nasty this stuff is. So I really don't want anything to do with it, especially for crypto. So there's no reason you have to. Again, you can run a virtual machine if you have apps and stuff you want to use. The other part is money. So like one is comfortability. Like how comfortable are you? And like how much time do you want to spend to convert? And hopefully something bad doesn't happen to force you to be like, oh, I got to, figure this out now because, I know how bad it is. Like, that's what I'm telling you. Security is bad on Windows. And you're getting targeted by everyone in the world because everyone in the world runs it, right? If everyone ran Mac, all the malware would be written for Mac, but it's written for Windows for a reason. And the other part is cost. So yeah, MacBooks are more expensive. Mac desktops are more expensive. They're not, the cheap Windows laptop, the cheap Windows computer. So it does cost money and it takes time to learn, but it's like one of the biggest bang for bucks for security. Honestly, if you ask me what the biggest bang for buck is Mac and keep your browser up to date. So
this guy, CBI Grook, says, what if you are a gamer in crypto and Mac and Linux suck for gaming? Well, you shouldn't do gaming and crypto on the same computer anyway.
There's a lot of different ways to go about that. Yeah. So yes, that, and then I would even question this, like, I don't know. All right, I don't want to hate on gamers, but I've never been a gamer myself, and it's always been like a waste of time to me. So I don't know. I found joy and like pleasure in other things like exercise and going outside and social events and stuff. So gaming for me it's always been like, if I want to waste time on an airplane, I'll bring some game with me. So maybe this is a good way to get off of gaming if you want to, not add those imaginary points up anymore. Again, not try to criticize gamers. I'm just saying there's more productive stuff in gaming in general. Feel free to disagree. This is my perspective.
Also, this guy, late 28, he said, first of all, 99% of hacks are people being negligent is what he said, which is true a lot. But he said he'd never heard of anyone actually getting the MetaMask seed phrase actually hacked. But it definitely happens. Like, for one, I remember there was like a big NFT influencer like a few years ago, and there was like the big crypto news sites were writing articles like, wow, this crypto influencer, like, he got hacked. Oh my gosh. And he was in Discord game with his gaming friends, and one of his friends sent him a link and he clicked it. And that link had some kind of malware that was able to get his seed for it, get access to his MetaMask. He just had a normal MetaMask wallet on that computer. And he was like, oh, I know, I'm so stupid. I knew that wasn't safe. But he just had apparently had a bunch of NFTs on this wallet or something. So
I think it's very easy. I mean, I don't know. I almost think like you're kind of the exception almost if you haven't got your seed phrase like almost compromised, or you almost clicked on a link, or you almost gave it to somebody. So okay, first of all, let's break it down. What does it mean for your MetaMask seed phrase to get hacked? So first of all, I mean, the phrasing in general, it's not the best phrasing that people use, not this particular comment, but that face value doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, what is seed phrase getting hacked? So it's really about like your free seed phrase getting, stolen if somebody hacked your computer and they got access to it somehow. Your password manager, you put it in a file, you got in a Google Doc somewhere and they compromise your email. I mean, I don't know, like it gets stolen somehow, or you accidentally send it to someone, or you put it in it wrong, or you copy and paste it in a chat window because you accidentally did it because you were putting it somewhere. There's a lot of different things. So sure, like, can it, that I just want to break what hacked actually means. It means like you either got stolen or you put it somewhere insecure, you sent it to somebody by accident. That's what so yeah, just to clarify.
Yeah, that is true. We do say, we're like, that guy got hacked, and then you think of hacked and you're like, some guys like getting into the mainframe. He's like, shh. But in reality, they're just like, oh, look here. Look, that guy's seed phrase is there. Oh, here it is. Oh, now I have his money. It's like, oh, he got hacked. It's like,
I mean, it's just what people respond to, but there's not a lot of resolution in that because it's not what actually happens most of the time. Yeah. Back to, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, gamers have money.
Say
if they have money, they can buy a MacBook.
For the crypto laptop thing, is like I said, you shouldn't. I know not everyone can afford that. I say get a hardware wallet and aspire to have a crypto only laptop at some point, because I know not everyone. I mean, there might be someone new to crypto who's like, "What? I just got into this stuff. I just got a hardware wallet. Like, now I got to buy a new computer. Like, that's BS. I just want to hold some Ethereum." I don't know. So, late 28 says exactly hacked versus clicking a shady link. Okay, yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, the word hacked is like thrown around. Yeah,
I just want to finish up on this one too, on the gamer and crypto. So you can run games in virtual machine. I mean, it probably depends on what kind of game you have. If it takes up a lot of memory, then you may need a really beefy computer, a really beefy Mac, for example, if you're going to go that route to run to have enough memory to set aside for the virtual machine to properly run the Windows game. So you wouldn't run the games natively on that Mac or Linux. You would run a virtual machine. So just make sure if you do, so when people do that, I imagine they get a really beefy Linux computer, put Linux on it, or a really beefy Mac, and then install the virtual machine software and then run the game on it. Or you can just have two computers. You can have one that's like Ben talked about too. I mean, kind of elaborated or alluded to. Have two computers. Have one for crypto, that's your MacBook or your Linux computer or whatever, and then have Windows for your gaming, and never connect them. You could even put them on different networks in your house and all that stuff too.
Ash says you can't use your GPU and virtual machine very well. I guess a non-gamer like RHMax wouldn't know that.
You'd be surprised. I know too much about gaming, honestly.
Really?
You can have a virtual GPU. You can assign, I'm pretty sure in some virtual machines, you can assign your dedicated GPU for the virtual machine as well. I'm not saying you may have to jump through a few hoops, but I'm pretty sure if you just Google for how to do it, somebody's did it, and they've got a setup and probably some stuff. So I get your point though. That's what I'm saying. Like, just have two computers. Have crypto, which is not Windows, and not crypto, which is Windows. You can do that too. Got a lot of questions here. Richard would agree with you on gaming. Hashtag Scivive. Yes, I think he would. He's the guy that's wasted years of his life gaming, as we've heard him say a million times. But you could also say that those years of gaming put him in the right place to start this community and do what he was meant to do. Ooh, fate, right?
So gaming was a good thing.
Oh my God, you turned around, didn't you?
Now I feel good about my occasional gaming.
Oh, that's what we wanted to do, make everyone feel good about gaming. Ash, dual boot to Windows. Yeah, people talk about dual boot. That was a really big thing maybe a long time ago, because it was so computers were expensive, right? Like, you kind of had to dual boot unless you just had a lot of money to buy another computer. But computers have been so cheap. Computers used to cost thousands of dollars for like just a basic one, and now there's a few $100 you can get a really nice machine. So dual boot you can. The only thing about dual boot is, like, by nature you can't use both at the same time. So if you're okay with that, that's okay. Like, you can obviously totally cool to dual boot. Install two operating systems on one computer. You boot up. You choose which one to go to. But I would just get another machine. Mr. Chinks, IMO, if your wallet's set dormant, you don't connect to shit besides in the stakes. That one you do, what to connect. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a best practice, you could say, is, general, if you're not going to use a hardware wallet, which that's Ben's going to tell you why you should in many different ways. But if you have a hot wallet and it's, you use it for trading and don't keep it logged in or whatever, then literally just not opening MetaMask, having password protected, not opening MetaMask, not connecting to websites, just using it at specific times to, you got your stakes on your calendar, the ending at a certain time. You open it up, use it for that. You're going to reduce the risk a lot. However, again, I don't want to keep talking about Windows, but I'm telling you, I feel much better. I would feel much better opening even if I had a hot wallet, opening my hot wallet on a Mac or Linux computer, knowing that more than likely it's not compromised, with more certainty than most, knowing it's not compromised, because I had very little chance of running into any malware on the internet in the past years. I would have more confidence just doing that on a non-Windows computer. Do not click on that primary crypto laptop. Yeah, if you have a crypto laptop specifically for crypto, then you shouldn't be using it for literally anything else. Like, you should only plug it into the internet when you want to communicate with blockchain. You don't go to any other websites. Like, if you have a crypto laptop, it is for crypto. You do not browse the internet with it, unless it is a crypto website that you already know and trust and all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, and like Mr. Chinks was saying, I mean, like, most people don't get hacked anyway, so most people are okay. So most
people are okay. Thank you, Ben.
But it is good to be be very cautious, and I don't know, always double check. It is good to be paranoid. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out here running around, no idea what they're doing, and they never get hacked or lose their funds. And it's like, what? So,
Yeah. I think that's as far as any other question in the chat for security. We're going to cover a couple other things too while we're here, but I think the biggest message I want to get across was, why just stop using Windows, start using Mac or Linux. It's well worth the time and money. That was my main message today that I will keep saying over and over and over because it's true. I did streams on it. I just posted one here. Go check out the day 2. Me and Ben did a security week AMA. Came on the show, and we made a lot of really good content on that. And day 2, stop getting hacked so easily. Stop clicking on links, antivirus and stuff. Day 4, rest in peace Windows, antivirus. Go Mac and Linux. Like, we've covered this in detail. If you aren't happy with the few minutes we talked about it here.
That's right.
Any other public service messages? Any other PSAs you got for security?
Alan,
just get an iPad, dude. If you don't want to fix your family's computer for Christmas, get him an iPad, get him a Fire pad, get him a Chromebook, get him something where they can't install the crap on it. Like, you're gonna save yourself some time every holiday too.
I would say just bookmarking GoRealDeFi.com is going to be huge. So double check your links. Be very careful, especially as we're getting into the bull run where emotions run high and you're excited and you're like, woo, and you're thinking 3 steps ahead, you're moving money fast. So just be extra careful. It's getting into crunch time. You don't want to make any mistakes.
Crunch time, baby. I mean, we got people can't afford a Mac yet. Maybe, hopefully, Mr. Jinx, may you have the maddest of gains and be able to afford yourself a MacBook. Andre K, what's your opinion on the Opera crypto browser? You know what? I heard they were doing that a while back, but I haven't used it, so I don't have any opinion. Have you used it, Ben?
Nope.
Remember Opera had a browser that a long time ago, crypto, and did they turn it into like a crypto thing?
I didn't know that. My thing with the browsers is I know MetaMask was designed for Chrome, and so I use MetaMask with my hardware wallets, and I just I tried I used Firefox once, and then one day I had an issue where like my hardware wallets weren't connecting to MetaMask or whatever. I tried everything, and eventually I just had to like re-add everything onto Chrome, and then I haven't had any issues. So,
well, that's another point too. Just on Firefox, I don't know I don't know of any reason why not to have both browsers on your computer, whatever operating system you use. Like having Firefox, having Chrome, that just helps you test stuff. If certain websites are working, if they're not. If you want to install different programs or have different wallets on different browsers too, of course, make sure you can handle that. Make sure you get everything together and all that too. But having a couple different browsers of whatever they are, could be Firefox, Chrome, Safari, whatever it is, just to be able to test things and a lot of people have, this website doesn't work. Well, did you try it in a different browser? Maybe your browser's messed up or something. So it can save you a lot of troubleshooting stuff as well.
Nice.
All right. Anybody in the chat? We'll go for another probably 15, 20 minutes. So put whatever you have, other questions in there. We'll get to them. Ash, does anyone remember when GodWhale pumped Hex back in 2020? It was around 0009, only 10x difference of price for a Pulse. History repeating. What do you think, Ben?
I don't know. Freddie quotes for some reason, and he was in the chat. I think he was in the Hex conference, and he kept saying in the chat, a GodWhale, like a GodWhale candle is coming soon. He kept saying that, and now I keep thinking about that. So
you said it recently or back then?
Yeah, Freddie Quotes kept saying it in the chat at the Hex conference like a few days ago. He was like, a GodWhale candle is coming soon. And I was like, huh. He was like, I can feel it. So I keep thinking about how he was saying that in the chat, and I'm like, I wonder if he's right.
Is he right? Well,
And I don't know. I mean, if that's for PHEX, Pulse. I mean, I guess they'd all follow each other, huh? The charts look like exactly the same, pretty
pretty
much.
much. You start bonding liquidity, stuff like that tends to happen. Yeah,
It's pretty
pretty
cool.
amazing.
EHEX is following along really nicely.
Do we have an EHEX chart on here? Do I need to go to? I don't think it's just got
kind of
PX.
cool because I still have all my EHEX, all my
What?
stakes.
You didn't abandon that dead horse? Why are you fudding everyone, man? Why don't you do what everyone wants you to do? Stop doing what you want to do, Ben.
I do not really buy. I haven't bought any EHEX or anything, but I mean, I have all my stakes and stuff, so I'm like, wow, it's holding, the bet because I don't know. I'd like that whole debate. There's smart people that were on the PHEX side that I liked, and there's smart people on the EHEX side that I liked, and I was like, well, and there isn't really I don't know. It's like the whole thing was weird, but there's smart people thinking EHEX wouldn't do well. There's smart people thinking it would, and I was like, well, I don't know. But now I'm like, I'm happy,
It was always simple to me. To me, it was if Richard wanted EHEX to die, he would have killed it. He would have sent some smoke signal or otherwise to let that happen, or the market would have decided. One of those two things would have happened. So if neither of those things happen, then what benefit is it going away? Are we just assuming no? Like I talked about Hex V2, Hedron V2 is coming up and it's making EHEX or Hedron and Hedron interchangeable in a lot of different ways. Why can't the same thing happen for Hex one day? Like if people did have a problem with there being two tickers on two networks, why couldn't there? Why if there was actually a market need for that to happen? Maybe that's Hex V2. If Richard ever does that. So, anyways, to me, it was like if it were going to happen, if EHEX were going to go away, it would have went away. I think it does more good. The market wanting it to be, if they want it around, it's okay. It's doing more good than harm. And so I could just go for the cheapest T-shares. It was always like pretty simple to me. I don't know why it was like such a big debate. It's like, to me, it was just, that's the way I looked at it.
Well, not everyone's as smart as you, Max.
I didn't mean that in a way of like, well, I've already figured this out. I'm miles above everyone. I was just like, are we talking about this? Like it exists because it exists. So why not? Why does it need to die? That's my thing. If it needs to die, it'll die.
Yeah.
It didn't die, so it didn't die. Yeah. I mean, if you had, especially like the financial incentive for people who got their copies, it was like they don't want it to die because why would you FUD your own bags? So if most people in the community had Hex before PulseChain, why wouldn't the momentum go in the way of keeping both, right? Yeah. Everyone's incentivized to keep both because they have money if they don't want their money to go zero.
So what do you think? Do you think Hex hits its previous all-time high on both chains?
I don't know. That's the hard thing is thinking about. Do we talk about it in terms of? I guess we've been lowering expectations just because the bear's been beating us down so much over time. Consensus-wise in the community, nobody talks about 10,000X anymore, like very few people. And we talk about combined Hex a lot more just because that's kind of just lowering the standard a little bit. Okay, combined Hex could hit $1. Could, would that mean, 50 cents each? And it's all that. So it's hard to say. Is that because the bear market just beat us down so much? Or if everyone thinks that, is that literally the lowest it can go? It's one of those things too. It's always this interesting psychological thing of, the highest target people have for something. Maybe it doesn't always come true, but it gets everyone buying and hoping for that number. So every time somebody says Bitcoin 150,000, it might not get there, but it may get to 100K, 120K, all this stuff. Just as an example, just in general. So people saying, not talking about 10,000X much anymore, saying, oh, 10x, 100x, 1000x, whatever. It's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, it feels like to me, where if you don't put high numbers out there, how can you have a chance of ever getting there if you don't believe it can go that far? So, I don't get predictions. So I try to avoid predictions, but I think that if as a community, we stop talking about 10,000x, we stop talking about 1000x, we stop talking about the mad gains that a lot of people experienced before with Hex, as if they're impossible just because the candle color of the past year or two, maybe that makes it so it doesn't happen. Like, because if we're telling other people, oh, it's going to go to 100x, then why would they buy Hex at 50 cents or $1? Why would they buy it there? Well, you need someone for the price to hit $1. You need someone to buy it at $1, right?
Yeah. I mean, once we hit, if we go up to 10 cents, $10 is just 100x. Oh, well, $1 is just a 10x, So it's like the higher we go, and then, it's 15 cents. Oh, we're 3x away, 4x away from, this and that. And so, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Ben, that's a great segue into your top 5 cryptos for 2024.
Top 5 cryptos, guys. I've been doing big research, coin market cap, been through thousands of tokens, and now I've prepared my top 5 tokens for the year. We're going to start with a little token called PulseChain. These are in no particular order. There's this token called PulseChain. It's looking really good. There's one called PulseX. It's looking really good. There's one called Incentive Token. It's looking awesome. And then the secret diamond gem is called Hex, and there's 2 of them. Those are my top 5 cryptos.
Ben's top 5 cryptos. Wow.
That was $10,000 of information I just gave you all for free.
You could look at it that way. I mean, Incentive Token used to be 60. I'm pretty sure I remember it being $80. I'm pretty sure it touched 78. Pretty sure it touched there for a minute. Went to like $80 or so. And then bear market, launch, selling. It's a dump token, remember? And then they were like, actually, no OA supply, quote, fair launch. That's why people like stuff like that. And liquidity bonded to the rest of them. I don't know. People can, you can mine it or you can earn it, I guess you would say. You can yield farm it. Drop down pretty hard here, 42. And then, it's up stablecoin prices these days. So very interesting incentive token.
$1 million incentive token. You heard it here first.
$1 million. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Alan. Incentive token, 21 million supply. It currently has around 21 million. That's true. I don't think that's capped. I believe that there's an inflation model, but it does slow down over time. Is there like halvenings and stuff for ink, I believe?
I have no idea.
Nice. So PulseX.
Sure. I didn't even realize it only had 21. I didn't realize there's a supply cap on ink. I just haven't even paid attention to it.
Just looking at this pump on PulseX lately too. Look at this morning pump. Bah, boom. Yeah. Who was buying? Did we have, man, I can't believe GodWhale's back. That's so cool. So cool. I don't know if he's buying or other benevolent whales are buying or just people are buying. Maybe, that's the thing too. Are we back, Ben? Are we back, man?
I think we're back. And I think we're all traumatized. I'm still in like disbelief because of that. I mean, we had that last pump that we basically went up to the same height and then we went all the way back down, but now it's totally different, like I think we're back, man. I think we're fully back. And who knows? I think we might start getting surprised, we might start seeing some stuff we haven't seen in a long time where price starts doing stuff and everyone's like, oh crap.
You think it's what it is? It's like we're still in disbelief. We're like, this is too good to be true, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. We've been so beat up. It's been a long bear market.
Heads have been just shoved into the pillow over and over and over, but we survived. We survived.
That's right. I just remember, when Hex went from 1 cent to 2 cents, and it was a big deal, and then all of a sudden it was at 5 cents. It's like you didn't even have time to grasp. Oh, it's at 2 cents. Oh, cool. Nice. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's at 5 cents now. Wait, what? And then it's like, oh, now it's at 12 cents. Wait, what? And it's like, then you're like, wait a minute. Oh, well, let me wait for it to dip lower to re-enter. Now it's at 18. It just.
Dude, nobody remembers how fast and hard Hex can go up. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It can leave you in the dust. And right now it's like everyone's forgotten that because of, all the pain. So
yeah,
I don't know. It seems, what other scenario do we need? I know that I'm shaking thinking about the mad gains, but it's like there's nothing more bullish could happen from here. Like what else is going to happen?
That's a good question. What other good news other than obviously SEC getting capitulating, getting just dismissed, or just getting beaten, or losing authority, or just restoring justice to justice and that type of thing. Other than that, I don't know. I think momentum. We just had so much like disappointment, because again, people had expectations. They felt a lot of disappointment. They felt loss of hope. Richard wasn't around. That sort of thing. But you got benevolent whales buying. You have people finally saying, like I was watching Big Pep stream. I'm going to watch it a little bit later more as well, hearing his perspective. And it's just like, it really feels like we're back. I hesitate to say it, but because it does things that you just get used to just not being beaten down, but like just get used to just waiting. That's my thing. It's not like I don't get used to being frustrated. I don't get used to seeing my portfolio go down or whatever. I just get used to just waiting. So not today, eventually, not today. I get used to that. And now I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm waiting. Obviously we're still waiting. Obviously we're not at $1 or anything right now for Hex, but I don't feel like there's this, there's less uncertainty. That's what it feels like. It feels like, this could turn into something beautiful and something that, people finally, justice will be served. The people who are still here, I definitely shout out to, again, I don't judge anyone for talking about whatever coins they want or whatever NFTs or whatever they're into. But Ben, for example, I just want to shout out to you, man, because I know you're one of the few people in the ecosystem who talk about RH coins. And I don't even think you talk about ecosystem projects much. Like I talk about ecosystem projects, like not that many, but I talk about a handful at least of stuff that I think are really good for the blue chips. But dude, you really like stick with Hex and PulseChain and PulseX and maybe Ink or whatever, the RH coins. So just to let you know, like people appreciate that. I appreciate that. And we need, every time somebody talks about inherently, right? Every time somebody talks about a coin that's not those coins, aren't you? I mean, inherently you're not talking about those coins. You're not driving people towards those products. You're driving them towards other products, and maybe they'll find the other ones, but it's not like you're not being direct about it. So I always appreciate people who are direct about, come to Hex, come to PulseChain, come to these products, and hey, figure out whatever you want to figure out afterwards. But anyways, man, shout out for that.
Nice. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've had Walrus on, and we've talked. Walrus is just super smart. We've talked about liquid loans on my channel, and I've talked about PHUX. I think PHUX is pretty cool, but yeah, I know the most about Richard Hart stuff, and that's what I'm like mainly in myself. So, I feel comfortable talking about it because I can I know all about it, So, but yeah, thanks, man.
And you want to see them win, right? You want those products to win. Like it's not always clear. Like especially since the ecosystem has grown so much. sometimes, I can't tell if people actually want these products to win, or they want whatever coin of the week they like to win, that sort of thing. And I'll always like try to go out of my way to appreciate people who are just, they want these products to win. Everyone can win, but I really want these products to win. These are stuff at the end of the day I want to be proud to be promoting. I want to be proud that I help people with, that I help people find them, not just, get rich quick stuff. Like I like get rich gradually. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, is like, I don't want to, I don't know, like tell anyone about something and then they go and like, because people, even if you sit there and say like, don't put your money in this, there's going to be someone, and it's on the individual too, but there are people who are going to be like, oh, well, don't put all your pulse in this, but it could be all, but if it goes up 5x, I 5x my pulse, so why don't I put in all my pulse to 5x my pulse? And then like something happens on that one thing and they lose it or whatever.
Very hard to do. It's aspirational, but hard to do. So it's don't have to worry about that. I like to keep it simple. I'm very careful about the projects I talk about within the ecosystem. I have to really believe in them. There's only a select handful that I think are good, and I like them because they are good for the blue chips. They're not this. They're not there. I try to focus on products that have obvious onboarding effect, have obvious value lockup, obvious positive feedback loops, and not everything's like that. So that's why.
Yeah. I will say is like if Pulse and everything does well, then like everything on Pulse should do really well too. It's like the rising tide lifts all boats or whatever. So
Westcott, when I put my pulse to 5x my pulse, that's not wrong, man. I've heard a lot of stories. I've heard a lot of stories of people and their plans. But again, I wish everyone the maddest of gains. I never tell anyone what to do with their money. I just tell people what I prefer to do and what I think have the best chances in the most not financial advice way possible.
Dog crap to get gold.
Dude, I was watching I was clipping one of Richard's valuetainment clips. They called him Richard Nixon, by the way. I saw Vince posted it. They called it Richard.
I saw that too.
You saw that? Dude, I watched it and I was like, this is really good for diversification. And he's like, in that he talks about, why don't I just take all this like doo-doo? I'll just buy all this doo-doo and hope, all this stuff. And I'm like,
no, dude, that's
such a good one.
Diversification is sprinkling dookie on your SpaghettiOs.
Yes, that one. I love it.
So I have that clipped on my YouTube. Here, and the thumbnail is SpaghettiOs with little poop emojis all over it.
Dude, that is so a great way to put it. And of course you got to take it within context and stuff, but man, I've never believed it. Ever since Hex, I really went full into Hex and stuff. And before PulseChain started, I stopped all the shit coinery. I stopped all the, put $100 into 50 coins, that type of thing. Like, no, I'm going to find the best horse and I'm going to put my time, energy into it. And I'm going to make it win. I will make it win. And everyone else around me, we're all going to make it win. So.
That's right. I still fall victim to the degen urges, but thank God I'm smart enough to stake my Hex. And I
was going to say, but thankfully I'm 100% stake, so I couldn't trade if I wanted to. Pretty
much, yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Ben, for that, hopefully you have the maddest of gains from that. Seriously, everyone who's staking out there, a lot of people, especially this past bear market, has made them not want to stake, and I think I'm not a fan of not staking. I'll say that. I think there's so many advantages for it. We've went over 1 million times on stream, but yeah, man, may everyone who's delaying gratification, putting in the work, and staying here, may you have the maddest of gains. Ben DuBard. Yeah, what do you want to take us out on, man? Great stream.
Taking it out on, make sure your security is good. Make sure you feel comfortable with how you got things set up. Get stuff organized. Too many people, I have people who contact me and they like don't know which address goes to what, and they added like multiple addresses to their MetaMask, and then they deleted it and they added the seed phrase to something else, and they can't get those addresses back and stuff. Like, just be ultra careful with all this stuff. And when you're setting things up, pay attention to what you're doing, make notes. be organized with it, and just be careful because, if you've been here waiting the past few years like us, and it would suck to give your money to a scammer after waiting all this time when you should be getting the reward, not the scammer. So think of it that way. It's like, do you really want to pay a scammer all your money? No, you don't. So take your security serious, and yeah.
No paying scammers. I like it.
And onboarding too. I wanted to say this on the Hex conference, but I dropped out because I was sick. I was on the onboarding to Hex panel. We got to onboard. If you're going to onboard someone, do it proper, because if you do it improper, because you're like, oh, well, if I do it the right way, they're not going to listen and they're not going to get anything. Well, if you do it the wrong way, they might listen and get excited and put in their money, but then they get scammed. So then not only have you enriched a scammer, you've just turned someone completely off from crypto like forever, because you were like, oh, well, I just want to, oh, they're not going to listen to me if I tell them to get harder. Well, let me just onboard them real fast. And I just want them to get in. So, when it comes to onboarding, there's prerequisites.
Onboard well.
It is a prerequisite. It's like you got to put a little bit of money down on. It's also part of the investment is your security. Here's a treasure. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everyone. Thanks for the show. Again, I'll be on with Corey Costa tomorrow, and I got some streams planned next week. So, Ben, where can people find more about your content and all your stuff?
I am Ben Dubard on Twitter and YouTube. So come check me out. And I have a Discord group, but no one talks in there. It's a free to join chat, and there's like 100 people in there, but no one ever talks. So if you want to come join that lively, hopefully one day lively community on Discord, you can do that. You can find
those
that
words
link
up. Pump those words up. Get that conversations going. Yeah. We got a lot of content. Yeah. If anyone wants to watch the stream and converse about it, there's plenty of stuff to converse about on the stream. MacBook, Linux.
Oh yeah, I live stream weekly on my YouTube channel as well. And I like to interact with the chat. I love people in the chat. So thanks to everyone who's here in the chat today. It makes streaming a lot more fun when you're not just like alone.
It is fun. Chat can be pretty fun. Chat can make your show sometimes. There's so many good questions from time to time. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Shout out to chat. Appreciate you all. That's all we got for you. Scivive and 5555. We are out.